All right, today I'm going to give you guys a little directions on how to complete the Rube Goldberg machine engineering design notebook. So the first thing that you need to do is start to complete the engineering design notebook using Cami. So as I open this up, open using Cami. This part of the notebook gets you through most of the design process. So the design process is pictured above. I know it's very hard to see, but we start to define the problem. And when we do that, we basically identify what the problem is and explain how we're going to solve it. So design and build A, and then in this little text box, you're going to write Rube Goldberg machine. Spell, there we go. Okay, and then we have to figure out what task this is trying to solve. So you guys can choose anything that you want within reason. And you're going to write it down on the second line. So for instance, my example is to have a car pop a balloon. So I'm just going to write pop a balloon. Okay, so I'm going to design and build a Rube Goldberg machine to pop a balloon. The next step is to identify criteria and constraints. That's step 2. A criteria are things that you're required to have, while a constraint is something that limits you. So let's think about a criteria. All right, so something that you need to have is your machine must last 5 seconds. Okay, the other thing your machine must do is have 5 chain reactions. Okay, so that's a criteria. A constraint is something that limits you. So let's go down here and add another text box. Something that might limit what you can or cannot do. Well, you're only going to be building this from home. So you're only limited to resources that you have at your house. The resources that you have at home. Okay, the next step is to gather information. That's step 3. Obviously, there's a lot of resources out there on Google. However, I posted, let's go back here. I posted a video for you guys that goes through a YouTube person going through how they're designing their own Rube Goldberg machine. It has a lot of good advice on this video. Okay, so now back over here. Next, you're going to brainstorm the solution. You're going to sketch and describe possible solutions that might solve the problem. You need to use annotations, that's a descriptions, different descriptions, to describe the sketch. You can either draw this on Cami or you can draw it by hand and then submit the photo on Google Classroom. So I had this one drawn on paper and I just submitted it on Google Classroom, but this is just an example. So you can see these are the annotations, and I have a detailed sketch with, information that shows how this machine is going to work. It starts with a pulley. It goes, it gets pulled. It's going to open up, lift up this lever that goes down the ramp and into the cup, down a couple more inclined planes, through this little corkscrew, hits this gear. The gear falls down, hits the dominoes hits the marble hits the car, and then on the car is a needle and it pops the balloon. Okay, that's a very detailed sketch. Okay, you will add it here, or you can attach it separately. The last step is choose the best solution. Step 5. Why did you select this design? Give me an explanation why you picked this particular design and explain why you think it'll work.